very interesting. Always fun to watch someone come from Canada or come from the States,
Yep.
and they're here. They've decided they're going to move to Cabo, and they go through this process of frustration of why does everything take so long? And we kind of go, because we want it that way.
Yes. A little slower, savoring things.
Yeah. And you'll bang your head against the wall all day dealing with the banks here and all those other things. But the lifestyle is unmatched. It's quite remarkable.
Welcome to the Timbits and Tacos Real Estate Podcast with me, Wendy Pauls, and my good friend and fellow agent, Rick Parks. I thought that we may, get the memo this time and both be wearing blue, but, we at least, we complement each other.
I honestly thought that I thought, you know what? She's going to wear blue. I'm not going to wear blue.
Are you serious?
Seriously thought that.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. So we are synced.
I can't do it. So I went and I said, I'll go generic. I'll go white. We're good. And I can't put black against his background or it's just a talking head.
Sure. Yeah. If we both end up wearing the same pattern, I mean,
that's we change right there. We just shut it off. One of us goes changes. It's like walking into a Christmas party wearing the same dress.
No, see, I don't want to change. I would be like, come on, let's babies, twinsies, let's rock this.
I was driving down the road yesterday with my assistant, and we came up on this couple that were wearing the same Hawaiian. He was in the Hawaiian shirt and she had the exact same Hawaiian dress. And she's like, oh, and I'm like, if ever, shoot me right there on the spot. No, done. Never, ever going to happen.
Okay, now I'm going to try. Now it is absolutely thrown down the gauntlet. You've said this is a challenge.
Yeah, I'm wearing green today.
I'm going to, next time I visit, I'm going to go peek in your closet. I'm going to take pictures of the patterns of the fabric, and I'm going to try to get something matching just to throw you off.
Right, stay out of my closet. That's creepy.
Exactly. Super creepy. One of the things that I want to talk about today is, like, a common question is wherever a good place to live? So is Waterloo Region a good place to live? Is Cabo a good place to live? So I thought we would take it from the kind of pros and cons perspective. Perfect. So if we just give 3 pros and 3 cons, I'll give them for Waterloo Region, although you've lived here too, so you can totally comment on them. And also for Cabo. Do you want to go first or second?
You go first. Ladies first, always.
So I do like to give the cons first because I like to end with positives. Okay. So one of the cons that it will be no surprise, by the way, I did notice that the 3 cons for Waterloo Region are all pros for Cabo. So I'm basically handing you.
And I'm trying desperately to create cons for Cabo, and I know I can find them. I know they exist, but
yes.
They will be possibly they will be things that you can be pros for
let's hope so. Let's hope this isn't just a one-sided
I hope not.
Conversation.
I'll do my best, I promise.
All right. Well, one of our cons that won't be a surprise is weather. I mean, this is Canada, and I know the weather varies all across Canada, but definitely there are seasons here anywhere in the country that are many people's, it's not their favorite. So it does, even in Southern Ontario, we do have a few months of pretty cold weather. It can get substantially cold. And then along with that, not just the temperatures, but, snow and slush and ice and, driving conditions, snow squalls, that sort of thing. So if somebody's from a different area, from a warm area, and they were moving here, that's something I would want people to be aware of that, kind of plan for that, factor that in. You're going to have to keep a scraper in your car. There's different tricks like lifting up your wipers so they don't get the buildup of ice on them, all kinds of things.
They would have no idea what a block heater is.
Right. Yeah.
Okay. Or the idea of not putting water into your window wash.
Yes.
Okay. Because otherwise it's going to freeze right up.
Yeah, exactly.
And that would be very foreign to someone coming from a warmer climate into a climate like in Ontario.
Absolutely. Having things on hand, like, you know, like salt for your sidewalk, for your front porch, stairs, things like that, you know, so there would be different things to get used to, making sure you have a good shovel, and
You
that
make
you're
it sound so inviting
responsible.
to live in Waterloo.
What's that?
Make it sound so inviting to live in
I know.
Waterloo.
I know, I'm sounding like the big con. All right, so let me put a little silver lining on that.
Okay.
Building snowmen, you know, some of
It's
those like Hallmark
beautiful.
scenes, like
I
snow
know.
globy type settings. People who ski, we don't have here, obviously, the big mountains that they do out west, but there are places in Ontario that you can ski. So we do have some of those things. And there are a lot of people cross country skiing, snowmobiling. So there are a lot of winter sports that people do enjoy. So if you're a winter sport person, then this is awesome.
And you also get the seasons,
Yes.
which honestly, for someone now that's lived in this climate for 5 or so years, I miss the fall.
Yeah. Yeah.
I miss the color changes. I miss that crispness in the air. You know,
That's
those
true.
type of things. Do I want to live in Waterloo in the middle of January? No, but do I miss November and April? Yeah, you know, because
Sure.
those are beautiful times to be there.
Sure. Yep.
Yeah.
Fair enough. Thank you for defending Waterloo Region.
Anytime.
So what's a con? Can you come up with one for Cabo?
Well, again, let's stay on the weather topic as far as cons go. We're in a hurricane zone, and that can be terrifying to some people. Now, we are in what's called a generational hurricane zone, as opposed to, here's the Florida conversation, as opposed to a Florida, which gets hammered with a hurricane basically every year.
Okay.
We're in what's called a generational hurricane zone, which means that we are seeing a hurricane of substantial size, category 4, category 5, once every 50 years.
Oh, okay.
Type situation. Okay, so our last one was about 9 years ago, 8 or 9 years ago. But we do get through August and September and even in October, hurricanes that come rolling through here. And you go on hurricane watch and you're watching all your apps and you're watching these hurricanes come rolling up the coast. And are they going to hit us or are they not going to hit us? And they're so good at tracking them now that we pretty much have a pretty good idea. But we will see 1 or 2 significant storms per year. Now, we're not designed to handle storms. We don't even have drainage on our roads. So when the water hits here, it wipes the city out.
Gotcha.
So we get a category 1 or a category 2 storm, which is really no more than what you'd experience in a big windstorm in Ontario. Okay, it's very similar to that. But how it affects our infrastructure is dramatic, where if we have a storm like that, we know we're going to be out of electricity for probably a week or at least a few days, and water is probably going to be an issue. And when you live in a climate where it's 28 degrees and 86% humidity when you're trying to sleep, not having electricity is a real bummer.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. That's a pretty big con. Thanks. You're making me feel a little bit better.
Happy to help. Yeah.
Okay. Con number 2 for Waterloo Region is a large student population. So we actually have 2 good-sized universities in the area and a college as well. So there's just a lot of students. And yeah, you may be wondering what's wrong with that. I'm, you know, speaking ill of students. No, I don't mean it that way. I'm saying it's another thing to consider if people are living near the campuses or near some of the accommodations. They're young people and they like to, you know, stay up a little later maybe than some of us do, you know, noise levels, you know, some of the things like that. So again, just something to consider, that if somebody's moving to the area and they're looking for a more peaceful neighborhood, they might just want to be aware of where the universities are and pick something a little bit further out. If you want the adventure and the party scene, then by all means, you know, live close.
I call it a higher risk of stupidity. Basically, that's the way we look at it.
Yeah.
You know, and that exact same con can basically be applied to Cabo.
Okay.
There's elements of Cabo which are Las Vegas South. And people come here for the purpose of just getting hammered for the week and sitting on the beach and doing stupid things. Okay. And so there's areas of Cabo which, you know, for a guy that lives here, I never go. There's no appeal to that for me. Sure. But, and then there's times through the year, of course, when it gets worse. Like we just experienced spring breakdown here, which is a horrifying assault on my fatherly instincts. When I drive down the road, I'm like, oh God, please stop this mess. But so the same thing applies here. When you're buying property here, people say, oh, I want to live around the marina. And I'm like, no, you don't. You know, you might want to have a rental unit around the marina, which would be great for people that want to come stay, that want this experience.
Sure.
But understand that if you want to go and live around the marina, you better be ready to be assaulted on a regular nightly basis by sound. And it's going to be coming all the time. And if you're going to rent, be prepared that you're probably going to be having to perform extensive maintenance on your properties on a regular basis.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Great.
So very, very similar con to what you're talking about.
Yep. Okay. And number 3 con for Waterloo Region is we right here have no large bodies of water. Now, we're not super far from large bodies of water because of the Great Lakes. So, you know, a nice drive can get you to one and can get you to an Ontario beach, which isn't quite the same as your beaches, but quite lovely nonetheless. We do have the Grand River, which is quite lovely, but it's not quite the same, right? Not the same experience. You're not talking like boating and doing those sorts of things. So right in this exact area, we don't have that. It takes a little bit of a drive to get there, not too far, but
it's a day-long excursion to get to water. It's probably not the way to look at it.
Quite a day long. Now,
well, because you're going to spend 2 hours getting there. You're going to spend 5 hours on the beach. You're going to spend 2 hours driving back.
Yeah,
so
yeah. You're not gonna do it on your lunch break.
Right. I'm going to go off of that in a different direction. One of the biggest negatives that I'm experiencing here in Cabo is shopping, and it's the little things. You're so used to when you live north of the border that there's a mall down the road. There's a shopping center that has everything you've ever wanted in the whole world. And if that mall doesn't got it, we'll go another 10 minutes and that mall's going to have it. Right. That's the way you can think when you're in Canada and the United States. Here we have one mall. Well, we have 2 malls. The one mall is strictly tourism, so it's really crazy expensive and crazy stuff. The other mall is a very local kind of Mexican mall, and half the stores are shoe stores. So, and maybe you can't notice this on the camera, but I'm a big guy, and that is not traditionally a Mexican body shape. So, for me, one of the biggest challenges I face here is just shopping to find things that I want. Clothing, food, elements, things that you're really used to.
Because I wouldn't have guessed that after being in some of your stores. I would have thought you have access to.
We do, but let me put it this way: Ruffles all dressed chips. I'll never see them here. Okay. Instead, I've got tortillas, extra hot and spicy tortilla chips, which are wonderful, but they're not what I like and I'm used to, you know.
Comfort.
So there's certain elements and certain things that you have to change. Say, okay, I can no longer make this a part of my daily diet or my weekly diet. This is now something I have to replace it. I have to do something a little bit different. And that's just a result of the shopping just not being quite up to snuff. And to be honest with you, it's changed so dramatically in the last 15 years here. 15 years ago, we didn't have grocery stores. You kind of bought from the market. So it's moved along quite wonderfully. And we have the Costco's, but you will find that if you came and spent an amount of time living in Cabo, you'd go, man, I just wish I had a little more options that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just a shopaholic and I have to finally
maybe. And I'm kind of bummed that we never checked out the mall while we were there. But if it was really expensive, then maybe not.
They have a luxury avenue.
Ooh, sounds lovely. All right. I think we're on to the pros. We did
good. Love pros.
Okay, me too. So a big pro for living in Waterloo Region is we have a really good, solid economy here. Like it's a diverse economy. So we have the head offices for some of the big insurance companies locally. We have lots of tech companies. You know, we have Google offices here. We have BlackBerry. We have, you know, a bunch of other ones here. We also have a lot of agriculture like in the area. So there's a lot of different types of work and industry right in this area. So that provides a lot of, stability, job opportunities, and so on. So really big pro.
Huge pro. I mean,
Mhm.
especially that the insurance companies, and I know there's 3 or 4 of them there that are just huge.
Yep.
Those are like banks. They're just not going anywhere. And so that provides a level of stability. You always know that there's going to be somebody wanting to purchase your property. There's always going to be somebody looking to live in the area because people are moving in for these jobs. And these are not 2-year jobs. These are 15-year jobs. These are 20-year jobs.
Right.
And so that provides an incredible level of stability for you. Yeah, that's a true, absolute pro. Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay. So what have you got?
Okay. A pro for Cabo. I was going to say weather again. I had to stop myself.
Well, I mean, you could. I mean, because it's definitely a con here, or can be.
The cost of living here is substantially cheaper than it is in Canada. And it's not just the cost of the goods. Yes, you go to the grocery store, you're probably going to spend a similar amount of money on groceries. Our gas costs are probably fairly similar. I think we pay about equivalency of about $1.40 a liter Canadian for our gas.
Okay.
So we're in those type of ranges, very similar.
Pretty close. Yeah.
But what you're going to see the differences are things like the taxation. My property tax is about $300 a year.
I know you told me that and I wanted to throw up a little bit.
I know. My cell phone plan cost me $15 a month. Those type of costs. Internet for my house is $25 at the highest speed I can possibly get.
You're killing me.
Yeah. So it's those type of things that your cost of living really dramatically drops. And I know when I've lived in Canada long enough, everything costs money. You go anywhere, you do anything, there's this incredible cost. Here, the beach is free. So you learn to take advantage of where you live and the access to the water, as you were talking about, where you can just go and, I got 2 hours in my time. I'm going to go take my dog to the beach and walk along the beach. That costs me nothing. So the cost of living is extremely different, and it's extremely affects how much you live your lifestyle here quite dramatically.
How is your sweet little dog, by the way?
Oh, he's wonderful.
Wonderful. Yeah.
He's down. He's mad at me because I'm ignoring him right now. So
I'm like, he's very quiet.
Well, you met him. He's
I know,
just a sweetie.
But I mean, we're not. Yeah, he's not making any noise.
At some point, it wouldn't surprise me if he comes up and he'll be down here, and I'll be like,
oh no, you should absolutely let him. He'd be the
if he comes up, I'll definitely introduce him.
Yes, please do. That would be amazing.
Good.
All right, let's see. Pro number 2 for Waterloo Region, and you've enjoyed these things as well during your time here. Because we are surrounded by farmland and really excellent farmland, like awesome soil, we grow some amazing crops here. That gives us also access to some amazing farmers markets. So you have been to the St. Jacobs Farmers Market, which is a tourist destination. Like people travel in from all over. On a busy day in the summer, they can have 75,000 people at that market.
Wow.
Which is crazy. So we have access to like fresh fruits and vegetables and produce, all that kind of stuff, meats, all locally grown, produced, and so on. And for people who care about like organic, we have a lot of that as well. So again, that accessibility, the variety, the freshness is a really big pro for this area.
And I will say the same type of pro for Cabo is because we live on an ocean. We actually live on 2 bodies of water. We live on the Pacific and we live on the Sea of Cortez. The sushi here is amazing because it's so fresh. I mean, this is fresh off the boat in the morning into your mouth by 2 o'clock in the afternoon.
Why did we not have sushi when we were there?
I don't know, because you guys just wanted to sit at my pool and never leave.
We just cared about the weather.
I actually had to work to get you to leave my complex. It was a very strange thing, but anyways.
Yes.
So yeah, the food is wonderful. I mean, of course, we've got the tacos, we've got the Mexican food. But the one thing that Cabo does amazingly well, and we do it for both our food and our music, is everything is excellent. If you ever have a chance to go sit in a restaurant and some guy is up there playing guitar, you're going to sit there and go, this guy is amazing. Because anytime you've got a place where people want to be, you attract the talent that wants to support that place.
Oh, that's awesome.
And so we get some tremendous musicians. And then our food, and it's not just Mexican food, but our sushi is amazing. Our steak here is amazing. We've got Michelin star restaurants locally. So, you know, you're going to drop $400 on a meal, but it's still, it's there and available to you. So it's kind of like New York. You'll never find a bad restaurant in San Jose, or sorry, in Cabo San Lucas.
Yeah. No. Yep. Got it. Guess I got to come back.
Absolutely.
Giving me more reasons.
All day long.
Yep. Finally, well, I mean, there's more, but we're only focusing on 3 and 3 today. Another pro for Waterloo Region is our proximity to Toronto and the GTA, like the big city experience. So like on a good day, where traffic isn't terrible, there's no accidents, etc. You know, you're an hour, give or take, just to get to the edge of the city. But obviously then access to world-class theater, world-class sporting events, restaurants. And for people who do want to enjoy the pay, you know, of working in the city and don't mind a commute, that is not me. I do not like the commute, but there are many people who will live in the region here, you know, try to be near the highway, jump on the 401, head in. You can live in this area and even work there. That's a possibility. So it's great to be close.
Buy a very comfortable car. That's all I have to say.
Exactly. Or get a driver, you know.
Oh, good idea. For me, I guess I cannot leave this conversation talking about the pros of Cabo without just talking about where we live, which is a combination of perfect weather, wonderful beaches. You've got accessibility around you to all these restaurants that we talked about, and it all gets summed up in really one word, and it's the lifestyle. And the Cabo lifestyle is a lifestyle that is extremely laid back, extremely, let me put it this way. I can't remember the last time I sat down and watched the news, because it doesn't affect us to a great extent here. I mean, I read my news in the morning on my phone, but I haven't turned on CNN or Fox or anything for months and months and months. Because the lifestyle here, just those things don't affect us in the same way. And so the biggest con, or biggest pro, I should say, for Cabo is just simply, it is a lifestyle change that affects you so dramatically in so many ways. And it's very interesting. Always fun to watch someone come from Canada or come from the States, and they're here, they've decided they're going to move to Cabo, and they go through this process of frustration of, why does everything take so long? And we kind of go, because we want it that way.
Yes. A little slower, savoring things.
And you'll bang your head against the wall all day dealing with the banks here and all those other things. But the lifestyle is unmatched. It's quite remarkable.
So what I'm hearing in our entire conversation is that people could have it all if they lived in Waterloo Region and snowbirded. Is that a word? In Cabo. So living that like experience where when the weather's not great here, or, you know, you need to slow down, you go there. If you want to go shopping, experience the seasons, go into, you know, the big city, I'm here.
When you said theater, I was like envious. Envy came all over me inside. You have no idea how much I miss great theater.
Yeah. So all people have to do is use our links. We have appointment links. And chat further. Seriously though, if there's interest in either questions about Waterloo Region, questions about, you know, living in Cabo, or snowbirding or anything like that there, they can get in touch with us using those links. And we always ask people if they heard anything that they liked to please like this video
Oh,
and
what was it?
subscribe.
Like and subscribe, right?
Like and
Those are the two things they
subscribe.
have to do. Okay.
Yeah,
Got it.
that's what we want people to do. Yeah. Keep us going, and then we'll keep bringing out more helpful content.
Perfect.
Okay. Adios
Adios.
and
Goodbye.
goodbye.
See ya.